Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, to all my returning YouTube family and friends. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Teresa and I am so excited that you decided to join me today. Today I am going to be sharing with you my Target dollar spot plan with me for the week of June 26th through July the 2nd. And July 2nd is actually mine and John's 22nd wedding anniversary. So, I've already pulled out my Target Dollar Spot sticker book, and I have already cut my paper, which I chose from a paper pack that I got from Hollar.com, and I will list the name of the paper pack down below. It is a beautiful paper pack. I actually have all of her collection except one, and that is sold out, and I haven't seen it come back on Hollar yet. I also have pulled several packs of stickers that I'm not sure. I'll probably be using some, like this one, You and Me. I love that. And then some of the flowers maybe. And then I've got on here this one in this pack from the Dollar Tree as well that says Mr. Right, and these thought bubbles. I thought that was pretty cool. And then I also have some of these different color hearts, again from a Dollar Tree sticker pack that I recently hauled. And then I've got several washies that I've pulled, and I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use. Some of these I will use in my Carpe Diem and my Happy Planner as well, but I think I'm going to be going with this mason jar, and these are full of little pink and red hearts. I thought those were super, super cute. I've got this pink washi with gold foil hearts that I got from Pretty Packages, I believe. And then I've got this pink and brown polka dot. I've got these pink with rose gold. So I don't know which ones I'll actually use, and I've got several of my drawers down here to choose from if I decide not to use those or go a different route. So let's get started. Pull out the week. And it is Saturday night. It's almost midnight here in Michigan. And I thought it's quiet here in the house, so let me get some Plan With Me's done. Okay, so here is the and I just love these papers from this paper pack. Upside down, or is it just me? Yeah, that was upside down. So how was everybody's week this week? I hope it was a good week. Oh, mine was okay. Until yesterday we had very, very close family friend pass away yesterday, unexpectedly, and it was my mom's best friend, and her daughter was my best friend. We actually lived across the street from each other for many, many years, my whole childhood. Excuse me. And our moms, mine and Nikki's moms, were divorced moms, single moms of 2 little girls. We, both of them, but they both had a daughter. So I was a only child until I was 14. My mom got remarried when I was 12, and her and my stepdad had my brother when I was almost 15. I was 14 and a half when Eric was born, but Mom and Connie were best friends, single moms, trying to raise their little girls the best that they could. And we vacationed together. They had a cottage out on Eagle Lake, and we would go and spend the weekends there, or even during the week. I was there usually in the summer. I would always be with Connie and Nikki as much as I could, and it was funny because their basement housed all of mine and Nikki's Barbie dolls, and our basement housed all of our baby dolls. So depending on what us girls were in the mood to play, that's how it was determined whose house we would go to. And we did so much together. I don't remember a time in my life where Connie wasn't there. And then the year before my brother died in 2008, Nikki died in 2007, and she was Connie's only child. At that point, Connie had been remarried. Nikki had a lot of health problems. She had a lot of severe headaches, and she took a lot of pain medication, and she lived with her mom and stepdad Steve because she couldn't take care of herself anymore. Her headaches were that debilitating, and she overdosed on her pain medications accidentally, and that was rough for Connie. She never got over it. Nick's room was still exactly the same as it was the day she died, and it was hard for Connie, very, very hard for Connie. And then my mom lost my brother, and that was another bond that they had of being surviving parents to a deceased child. And Mom and Connie shared a lot throughout their lives. And 40 plus years, like I said, there's not a time in my life that I don't remember Connie and Nikki being in my life as a child. And even Nikki's grandma and grandpa, they were like my grandparents. They adored me, just like their own grandchild. Connie loved me like I was her own daughter. She disciplined me like I was her own child. It was just... that's how it was. She was my true second mom. Somebody I knew I could always go to. Somebody I knew I could always depend on no matter what. Who would never judge me. Who would never, treat me any differently for any wrongdoings or choices that I made in my life. And about a year ago, she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and she was undergoing treatments for that. And we knew the outlook was bleak, but she was giving it her best shot, and she never looked at it as a death sentence, and she lived her life, you know, like you do. And apparently Friday, very early in the morning, around 2 or 2:30 a.m., Steve had to call 911 because she was having severe stomach pains, and he didn't want to take the chance to drive her the 30 minutes plus to the hospital from where they lived. And when they got there, the emergency room doctors felt they needed to operate and on the pancreas, which I don't understand, considering she had, you know, stage 3 now into stage 4 pancreatic cancer. But they felt that it needed to be done ASAP. They took her into an operating room. They opened her up and were not able to do anything because, like I said, she had stage 3 now into stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Her pancreas was loaded with cancer. And there was nothing that they could do. They told Steve that he was going to need to make a decision as to when, because she was not, you know, there was nothing else that they could do. She had slipped into a coma, and they could not bring her back, you know, wake her up. So they told Steve that he would need to make a decision as to when to pull her off of life support. And so about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, my mom called me to let me know what was going on, and they took Connie off of life support yesterday afternoon around 5:20 p.m. and she passed away at 5:30. She lasted about 10 minutes, Mom said, but that she went very peacefully. And it just, I mean, I knew eventually this would come with Connie, but I never thought it would be like this. I never thought that I wouldn't get my final goodbye. But I have to know, and I do know, she's with Nikki again. And that's something that she's always wanted, to be with Nick again. And they're together, and that makes me happy. And she's with her mom and dad, you know, and her baby. But, you know, it doesn't make somebody's death any easier for us here left on Earth. And I think that's what I'm struggling with, is my selfishness, because I wasn't ready to say goodbye. And it's just hard when you don't get that that final farewell, you know. So when you can't tell them that you love them, and you know, told my mom, I said, make sure you tell her that I love her. And to give Nick a big hug from me. And Grandma and Grandpa. Mom said she did. She told her. And, so I, went last night and spent the night with my mom because I just, you know, I needed her and she needed me, and we were together and excuse me, we talked about all our memories we had and all the fun and good times we had with Connie and Nikki. And we cried, and, you know, and her funeral will be Wednesday. She's gonna be cremated like Nikki was. Just tough when you lose someone, you know. They say God can never give you more than you can handle, but sometimes it makes you wonder. Makes me wonder anyway. 'Cause it's like, how much more? How much more can I take? How much more does he feel I'm strong enough for, you know? But I'll be okay. And I know I'll be okay. Because I know Connie wouldn't want me to be mopey. She had a very strong Christian faith, and I know she is in heaven with Jesus, and she's home, and she's not suffering, and she's not in pain, and that means more to me than the fact that she's not here anymore. And I know she's always with me if I need her. I can talk to her. And believe me, I will, I'm sure. It's funny, I talk a lot about my brother, but it's, you know, I mean, I even still talk to him. I'm like, you know, especially when it concerns Mom, it's like, gosh, Eric, why did you do this to me? Why did you leave me with her to deal with her by myself? I know that's not funny, but it is funny. Anyway, let's get off of that subject. Like I said, Sunday is mine and John's 22-year wedding anniversary. We got married out in Lake Tahoe in 1995. And we chose the month of July because, as you guys know, we have a very large family, and there were no birthdays in the month of July. So we said, well, let's get married in July. That'll be our month, and, you know, it's perfect. So in 1995, we got married. And then in 1996, my sister-in-law Heather gave birth to my niece Anicia on July the 10th. And 9 hours later, my sister-in-law Missy was giving birth to my niece Selena in the same hospital, 3 rooms apart. Missy's was a scheduled C-section. Heather went into early labor. So I have 2 nieces born on July 10th, 9 hours apart. And then in 1997, my baby girl, sweet little Miss Michaela Leanne, came into the world on July 8th. So yeah, now we share our anniversary month with Anicia, Selena, and Michaela. But it's okay. We love them. And we definitely wouldn't have it any other way. And it's funny because when the girls were little, because they were the same age for 2 days, and me and my 2 sister-in-laws would always dress the girls the same for their parties, because we'd always have their parties together. And we always dressed them in Teletubby colors, like the pink, or not the pink, the purple, the green, and the yellow. Oh, goodness. Yeah, they probably hate us for that. But yeah, we always dressed them alike for their parties. And then we'd always take one picture of the 3 girls and us 3 moms every year. And the girls actually are very close. Not so much anymore because Anicia still lives in Florida. And then Michaela and Selena are up here. So Michaela and Selena very much have a sister type of a relationship. Because they were so close, you know, always, you know, with each other. And it was always fun to see the 2 of them. And oh, Michaela was so mean when she was little, you guys. I don't know if I want to use this real teeny. I think I will use this one. She was always so mean. Especially to Anicia and Selena. But she would always call them names like cuss words. And I don't know, like she'd get mad at them and she'd be like, you bitch. And you know, this little 3-year-old, 2-year-old just out there cussing them up a storm. And it's not like we ever, you know, like we never called each other names like that. So she had to have been hearing it from the bigger kids, although they still to this day will never admit to that. But I'm sure that's how, and she would blame everything on them. Anything that happened, it was always Anicia and Selena's fault, whether they were there or not. She'd say Nisi did it, or Nina did it. And then as they got older, they were inseparable, especially Michaela and Selena, which was always fun, you know. And honestly, they were always good girls. They never were, you know, like the older kids. I don't know if it's just because they learned from the older kids, you know, what not to do. So they weren't into the partying and the drinking and like all of the older kids. Goodness. It was always some party or another. But it was, you know, that's part of life. Michaela finally decided when she was like a senior in high school, she was going to go to a campus party, because we have a university here in Kalamazoo. It's called Western Michigan University, and they're in the MAC conference. So she decided she's going to go to one of the campus parties. And she said, and you know, my kids are very honest with me. They would tell me, I'm going to this party or I'm doing that. And that was fine. You know, as long as I knew where you were at. So if something happened, I would know, you know, not to be shocked if I got a phone call or, you know, if they needed me to come and pick. Because I always told my kids, if you're going to be drinking or your friends are going to be drinking, I don't want you driving and I don't want you riding with someone that's been drinking. You call me and I will come and pick you up. Yes, I may be mad at you, but at least I know you're safe. And don't lie to me. You know, do not lie to me. That's the worst thing you could do, is lie to me. And my kids pretty much never did. I mean, I'm sure there was little things, but they never lied to me about the big things, ever. And so anyway, Michaela decided she was going to go to this campus party. And I said, just be careful, you know. And she swore she wasn't going to drink. She's like, Mom, I'm not going to drink because I have to drive, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, well, if you do decide to drink, you call me and you let me know and I'll come pick you up. You know, I don't care. I'll come and pick you up, but I just do not drive. So she comes home like 2 hours later and I'm like, I thought you were going to the campus party. And she said, I did. And I said, well, how come you're still not there? Or why did you leave? And she looked at me and she said, I walked in and there was a bunch of kids snorting Molly on the coffee table, and I walked out. And I told her friend Taylor, I said, I'm leaving. If you want to stay, you can stay. Just call me when you want me to come and pick you up, but I'm not staying. I'm out of here. and she left. And she came home. And you know, I mean, that's the person Michaela was. I mean, that's and her friend came home with her. Or no, maybe she didn't. No, she didn't. Taylor actually stayed. And so that was the first party Michaela attempted to go to. And then the next one was here locally. It was out of town. And the party ended up getting raided. And it was a Halloween party, and it ended up getting raided. And she calls me. No, she texts me. No, she did call me. First, she called me. She's like, Mom. And I'm like, what? And she's like, the cops are here. And I'm like, okay, have you been drinking? And she's like, well, I had one beer, but it was like 3 hours ago. And I said, okay. She's like, but they're making everybody do BACs. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, where are you at in order of the BACs? And she's like, well, they're still downstairs. I said, well, where are you? She said, I'm in a room upstairs. And she said, they told us we had to stay in whatever room we were in, and they were just going to come room to room. And I said, okay. I said, well, then you're good. I said, if you had a beer, you know, a couple hours ago, honey, you're fine. You're not going to blow. And she's like, but what if I do? And I said, Michaela, you're not. I can promise you that, honey. You are going to be just fine. And it ended up, so then she was like texting me throughout the night and, you know, like giving me updates. And I'm listening to the police scanner, the local scanner, and they're just taking these kids away like by the freaking carload. And the boy she happened to be at the party with had took off running into the woods, and they caught him and they arrested him for fleeing and eluding. Oh God, these kids, I tell ya, they just don't get it. I know it's not funny, but it is funny. Because it was like every time that poor child wanted to go to a party, it just never worked for her. And I guess that's not a bad thing, but well, anyway, what ended up happening is one of her other friends that she was at the party with, their mom showed up, and she said she was here to get her kids, blah, blah, blah. And the cops were like, okay, which ones are with you? And at this point, the rooms upstairs had been brought downstairs. And so she pointed at her kids, her 3 that were there. And then she said that one, and she pointed at Michaela and several other kids, a couple other kids. And the cops just said, okay, get them out of here. And so yeah, she got very, very lucky. But, you know, I mean, she wouldn't have gotten in trouble anyway, because she wouldn't have blew anything anyway. But it's just the point, you know. Poor kid. Now, Kristen, on the other hand, whew, that girl. was a wild one. If there was a party, she was at it. Whether I knew or not, that was the bad thing. She didn't always share that with me. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am just loving this paper. So yeah, that's, but I will say my kids, you know, they didn't do, you know, a lot of bad things. I mean, they did typical teenage crap, but they were pretty good for the most part. And one thing that they always knew was if, you know, like say if they were somewhere and they were in a situation that they didn't feel comfortable in or whatever, they knew that they could call me and they would have code words for me. And I would know immediately that they wanted to leave. And I would say, "Are you okay?" And if they would say no, I would say, "Well, what's wrong?" And they would proceed to tell, you know, they would just say, "Nothing, I'll tell you later," or and I'd say, "Do you want to come home?" And they would say yes, and I would say okay. And then they knew when I would say, "Well, I'm coming to pick you up," they would be like, "Mom, no, don't come and pick me up." They would, you know, kind of play it off that way. So they would be like, "My mom's making me go home," and then I would just go and pick them up. There would, you know, there no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was, you know, and that's how it worked. And then their friends never knew. Okay, so this week I have Nolan every day but Tuesday. His other grandma, her son, that is Tony's best friend, is getting married actually on Michaela's birthday. And Connie is from England, and her parents, or her family, her entire family, well, mom, dad, sister, grandparents, are coming for the wedding. And Carmen asked me if I would watch Nolan so that way they could finish up the rest of their wedding planning, which I have no problem with. She said that she would once Tom and Connie got married, she would take Nolan a couple extra days the following couple weeks for me, because then we've got to get ready. Oh, I like that you make my heart smile. For Michaela and Tony's wedding. So these next few months for them, or for us, it's going to be pretty busy. And, you know, Carmen will help. She'll help with whatever we need help with. And I do need to get meds on this day. Okay. Plan with me, and I've got my DIY. I think it's raining outside. Kind of sounds like it, but yet it doesn't at the same time. Okay, and then I need to okay. Whoa, I don't know what happened there, guys, but okay. So the rest I will film off camera, since this is my budget planner, and then I will work on that throughout the week. And I love the way it turned out. So guys, there it is for the week of June 26th through July the 7th. And I love it. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. Love, love, love it. It just came together just perfect. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a great big thumbs up. If you are new to my channel and you want to see more of my videos, click that red subscribe that's down below. And don't forget to click that little bell that's just above that red subscribe, and you'll get sent notifications every time I upload a new video. So guys, I will be going ahead and working on my Carpe Diem plan with me next. So look for that, and after this one, and then my happy planner as well. I will also work on that today, which is now Sunday, June 25th. So guys, I will see you soon. Until next time, bye-bye. Take care.